Hey, so the other day, Mike Falzone made a video about the death of spelling, and I'm thinking about spelling, and I'm thinking about the fact that it doesn't matter if you can't spell, and I think that's a really good thing. There are a lot of people that sort of get off on correcting people's, minor spelling mistakes or grammar mistakes, or, oh, it's your apostrophe re. We're gonna have to face it at some point or another. No one writes longhand. People type, or they make videos, and they don't need to spell. No one needs to spell, because spelling for so long has been just the bane of everyone's existence. Like in primary school, learning how to spell, and you had spelling tests, and you had to learn 10 spellings ending in like T-I-O-N or S-I-O-N, and it was like, oh, you've got to make sure you know if it's a T-I-O-N or an S-I-O-N ending, because otherwise you're going to be fucked for the rest of your life. And that's just not true. And I'm really glad that it's not true. So there are people who say that people who can't spell just don't read enough, and that's obviously bullshit. And then there are people who say that, spell check is meaning like the death of the next generation's ability to communicate, and that's still obviously bullshit. There are so many other ways to communicate now that we don't have to worry about spelling. But there are still people who worry about spelling, and they can just take their prescriptivist ideals and just shove them up their arse, because it's absolute bullshit. I'm really good at spelling. I can spell aesthetic, I can spell discombobulate, I can spell superfragilistic. I write a lot better than I talk, which is why I start making YouTube videos, because it means that I have to talk, and I have to talk to myself, and I have to try and get this point across clearly, and it's working to a certain degree, I think, maybe. I don't think that people who say like, oh, it's all about communication, it's obviously not all about communication, because not all communication is written communication. If you can talk, fine. If I can understand what you're trying to say when it's written, then brilliant, I'm more than happy to forgive a few spelling mistakes or grammar mistakes. I'm fine with that. Misuse apostrophes all you like. Just don't tell me that people who can't spell are unable to communicate, because they probably know a lot more practical information than you do. I don't know anything about plants, but I'm sure those people do. Let's face it, in a zombie apocalypse situation, you'd rather know more about plants than know how to spell. Also, one more thing, I've given up on the Doctor Who thing. It was a shit idea and I hate it, and yeah, that's not gonna happen anymore. If you want to know Doctor Who thoughts, I'll put a link in the thing to all my posts on Tumblr, because I think that's a lot better way to communicate for me. Do you see what I did there? I tied it into the rest of the video, aren't I a clever motherfucker? Anyway, yeah, I'll see you next week or something. Mwah.